What's going on, everyone? It's Bales, and welcome back to another AFL Fantasy Team Reveal post round 8, or as a lot of people calling it, a bit of a carnage round. There was so many bullets flying around throughout the whole weekend. Plenty of popular players going down, a lot of poor scores. I didn't cop as much of it as other people. I do really feel sorry for a lot of people that did cop a lot more than me, because I thought I had it bad, but it turns, well, I definitely didn't have it bad. Like in my own head, I thought it was a bad week. But anyway, 2041, worst week since round 1. Nearly a 15k rank for the week, so 14,926, and overall rank is 1135, so down 140 spots. So we're outside the top 1,000 again, so it was short-lived. Yeah, it was just disappointing. I thought maybe with a bit of carnage, I might, escaping a couple of them, I thought I might have been able to make up some ground. But it is what it is. Hopefully we can jump back on the horse and get back inside the top 1,000 and close back in, because the goal was top 750 this week and then top 500, but hopefully next week we'll just be able to go top 1,000 again and work from there. +3, -3. +3 is this wonderful human being that is Caleb Sarong on debut, 141. It has been a very, very long time since I've brought in a premium midfielder and not saved the cash and paid up probably around fairly priced for him. He was priced at, I think it was just under 110, and brought him in, obviously with the buy that would help, helping that. Good matchup, won the sugar hit, and I got it. So very, very happy that I finally brought in a primo mid. I can also give a bit of a shout out for +3 for Errol Goulden. So not only did he get a 98 in a very wet game, but if I didn't bring him in 2 weeks ago, or when I get him in, I had him for the 120. I brought him the week before that, so that was round 6. I brought him round 6 against was it Gold Coast? If I didn't get him in that week, I would have got good Tom Green this week. So that actually ended up benefiting me like over 130 points. So that did help me. So shout out to Goulden there as well. -3. I would have given it to Whitfield, but on our podcast, Cara gave Whitfield the -3. But I'll give Whitfield a -3 on the video. I did originally give it to McRae on the video just to be someone different, but Whitfield will get it for me. 48, he got tagged. I know the conditions didn't work, but 48, come on, like it's scraped to a 70 or something at least. Like, 48 was not good enough. It was his only score. It's his only score, below 90 for the year? Yeah, 93 was his only other score. So he'll respond. He'll be fine. I'm not concerned about Whitfield whatsoever. Tough game. Only 1 mark. Only 19 touches. That was by far his lowest disposal tally. Look at this. 33, 29, 36, 29, 34, 29, 31, and then 19. So he'll be fine. Just a tough week for Whitfield. But yeah, let's get into the rest of the players here. As always as well, if you are enjoying the video, make sure you do smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are very, very close to 2,200. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so we can hit 2,200 as soon as possible. But then obviously the main goal being 3,000 subscribers before the end of the season. So if you can help me reach that goal, that would be very, very much appreciated. The other thing I didn't mention as well is I was 173 points behind top 100. I am now 230 points behind top 100. So I lost 57 points on the top 100 ranked coach this week, which sucks because I started the year 228 points behind the top 100 scorer. So I essentially haven't gained any ground over the first 8 weeks. I've just obviously I've got up to near the top 1,000. Just haven't gained the rank on top 100. It hasn't ballooned out, which is good. We need to get back next week and increasing and maybe get back under 200. Or even have a big week where we might get back to 150. But we'll see how we go. But let's go through the players here. Harry Sheasel, 89, role change. Played mid forward. I didn't see him go to defence at all. He obviously went back for some +6s and stuff like that, but he was playing in the midfield that went back. Hardiman struggled. And I think North Melbourne struggled really as a whole. I think that Sheasel is wasted as a forward just because North don't get it in there as much. So the thing I'm looking out for is if Hardiman is dropped and then they maybe drop another player and they might bring in Lazaro and an Eddie Ford, because Eddie Ford was injured a couple of weeks ago. I think he will probably come back in. If those two come in, I could see Shearer returning back to halfback / midfield. I think he's much better as a defender mid, not as a midfield. I think a midfield, he'd be a lot better if he was in a better team. But because North Melbourne are struggling, I think he needs to be a defender mid. And obviously for fantasy, that would help a lot more as well. He'll be fine. Obviously tough against Gold Coast at TIO this week, but hopefully he'll be okay. Whitfield mentioned before, not worried about him. He'll be fine. Nick Martin is an absolute jet. 119 points. I know a few, I remember JD said it pre-season. Another Essendon fan I think said it, that he could be a top 3 defender, and he's looking everything like that. Like all these scores, like okay, got the 85 against the Dogs, which was very surprising. That was an odd game, that one. Like Bont went, I think that was Bont's 53. I think he got, and he got 93 in round 1 with one bad quarter. Every other game's been over 100. And most of them are over 110. So he's just an absolute freak. He doesn't come off at all. He only comes off for maybe once a game, potentially twice. Like this game, I think he came off twice here. But yeah, he's a jet, so he's fantastic. If you didn't start him, hopefully he jumped on. If not, he's not gotten away from you. You still bring him in, but he's an expensive price. Hayden Young, yeah, brilliant. He's again, but I was looking at his stats earlier. He's been great since the first 2 games, going over 100 in every game bar 1. But we know for that game he would have gone over 100 if he didn't sit off the last quarter with that hamstring niggle. But yeah, low time on ground today, which was interesting, but he still scored great. It was fine. So yeah, he's very, very good, and he's looking everything like a top 6 defender. Elliot Yeo, he's probably got to go now, unfortunately. He's been a pretty solid pick, an average of 88.8. If someone said to me that he was going to last over 7 weeks without any sort of little niggle coming up, I would have taken it. And at least he got a 62, and it came the last quarter when he sort of got rested. So we'll take it. He's been great for West Coast. Like, he's consistently kicking goals from the midfield, having multiple shots a game. He's been very, very good. I do think it's time to go, though, because if you look at his scores, they did hit a peak with the back-to-back 108s, but they have slowly but surely just gone down a little bit. So I think it is time to go for me, even if he did play. The risk is his break-even is now at 116. If he copped an early injury, he would be going down a lot, and it's a very easy switch to a certain player from Collingwood that I'll be bringing in this week that I need to jump on, which we'll talk about my trades after. Riley Bonner, 87. Again, just solid. He's had that one bad score of 61 in round 2, but besides that, he's been pretty good in every other game. Tom McGrath was back up, which was good on the weekend, 87%. Sinclair playing the midfield did seem to help him in a way as well in terms of more time on ground. Obviously, the only thing that was bad about that is this game seemed very much like Sinclair, Nasaiway in the Miller, and Brad Hill all using each other, but Bonner got left out at times. First quarter was great, and he got his points throughout the day. And I'm not complaining with 87, it's still fine, but he sort of got left out in those chains. And there will be games where that happens. I'm hoping like against Hawthorn this week, he might get involved a bit more in the +6. And he might be able to get a big score. But he's got a decent run for the next month. So he's not a priority trade just with the other issues that are arising in our teams. I think Bonner's a pretty safe D6, I think, for probably almost till he's by in round 15. He could almost be a luxury trade that we do. Maybe I'll just keep a defender in my mid for just a little bit. So obviously Reed didn't play. Reed's only a couple weeks away, I think. So I'm probably only going to have a loophole for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, and then he'll be back. And hopefully making money, because that I've held him for the whole this time. Williams, got to go. Simple as that. Frustrating. Very, very frustrating. 531k. He dropped, 20... he dropped 12k this week. He's just been a failed pick. It's as simple as that. And it was so annoying. He sucked us in the opening round with 69. Looked okay with a good first quarter. He's had one good score. It's just been frustrating. It didn't hurt us for as much first 6 weeks because it was best 18, so it didn't really matter too much. But it just shows that the players that just don't have pre-seasons, just like there would probably only be a couple of cases where they actually end up having a good season, because he's been very average. Little niggles have popped up and they sub him out. They're being very precautionary with him, so he's just got to go. Simple as that. So he'll be gone for me this week. Obviously, barring any other unforeseen issues. I could always keep him on the bench, but at this stage, he'll be going. Midfield, for the first time this year, most players did okay. Obviously, Steele and Dawson both got on the 100. Dawson, I was pretty pleased with, considering he was on 34 at half-time. So very good second half of 66 points. That last quarter where he played very well. So very happy that he got to his ton, averaging over 115, removing that 60 score that he got with that game against Carlton. So he's been very solid. He's got a very nice run of next 5 weeks coming up. I think Brisbane are okay for mids, and I expect he'll go well anyway. Dunkley might run next to him. I still think Dawson will be fine because Dawson's not playing full CBAs. He's playing around that 50 to 70% mark. He's not that 80 plus percent. Well, he wasn't on the weekend anyway. Then he's got Collingwood, West Coast, Hawthorn, Richmond. That's a great run coming up. I think that Dawson will be very good over the next 5 weeks. Jack Steele looked better this week. Obviously, there was the issue the week before against Port. Obviously, had the knee really heavily strapped. Time on ground was decent enough. His kicks were back up again, close to his handballs. Obviously, a few weeks where, well, not so much the week before because he didn't get much of the ball. Marks were back up. He got 5. And then his tackles were solid as well. So 100. Hopefully, the more weeks that he gets past that little knee niggle, he'll continue to put up some good scores. Got Hawthorn this week. Good matchup. Freo, obviously, Melbourne, West Coast, which I read it for Bonner. A few solid matchups to come. I think Steele will be fine. Sarong, obviously, talked about him before on debut. Very happy with him, averaging 116.6. I think he's only scored, 1 point less than Zach Merritt. And everyone's been talking about, like, obviously, how good Zach Merritt's been, but this just shows how good he's been and how good Sarong's been. But a lot of people saying the 161 was a bit of a sort of a one-off score, but he backed it up this week, 141. He's got the ceiling. He's looking very good this year. 2 tough matchups were the only games he went below 100 or below 107. So he's been very good. Happy to have him. Couple of solid matchups to come. Sydney might be tricky, but St Kilda, Collingwood, Melbourne, then the bye. He's got the good bye, so I'm very, very happy. I've got Sarong in the team, and Sarong is one of my favourite players. So outside of the Crows, very happy to have him. Errol 98. I was happy enough. I said if he'd get a 90 plus, I'd take it because of the conditions, and he got a 98. He was on 86 at 3/4 time. I was hoping with Sydney having the game mostly in control, he would have got over 100. But hey, 98, tough conditions. Got Freo this week at Optus. That seems a game that's going to suit him down to an absolute T. So I think it could be a decent ceiling score. Could be his biggest score for the season coming Gordon this week. That's the hope anyway. Bont 103. Apparently it was like his second highest career game in terms of champion data ratings points or something, which I thought was quite interesting because he was solid. I don't think he was anything special. Like, again, like his touches were there with 26, but his marks were down again. His tackles just aren't there. Like last year when he was getting all these big scores, were like against Geelong when he had 10 tackles. Like that's what, you had the 5 tackles, that's over a 120. Like that's what he's lacking at the moment, just those tackles. I don't quite know why he's not tackling as much. Again, take out the 53. He's averaging near, I think, around 108. So he's been frustrating is probably the word. Only that 149. Take that away, got the 110. But he hasn't had any other score over 110. I'm hoping Richmond this week can be a game where I think it sounds as though Libba could be out, and he might be out for a few weeks because I think they're being pretty cautious. Didn't look great with that boot to the head. He got another knock early in the game, so hopefully Libba is okay. But Bont might have to step up more if Libba's not in the team. So hopefully Libba is back soon, but that won't be... have to see how it impacts the Dogs mids. Jeremy Sharp probably buys himself a couple of weeks with the 86. Break-even's now at 68. Obviously, with that, take away that 39. I know I'm taking away a few scores in this video, but he's gone over 63 in every other game, so he's been solid. Plays high time on ground. Sydney at Optus is okay because it's at Optus. He's got St Kilda at Marvel. That should hopefully be a score where he goes really well. Then Collingwood... Melbourne, and then the bye. So, and he's got a good bye as well. So I'm partly thinking he might be a guy I'm happy to keep at M8 really until round 14, 15, or maybe even 16, and just holding right through there. Harley Reid, 55. Obviously not a great score in his first game back after having a rest. I'm sure he'll be better for getting back into the swing of things. Tough score, but so he'll be fine. Will Graham, 56. Obviously not a great score there. Gold Coast generally got pretty well beaten up. Obviously, all the Brisbane Lions players went absolutely massive. And Will Graham's tackles were there. I feel as though this game against North Melbourne, Gold Coast should be fairly in control. The conditions are going to be obviously dewy. We know that at TIO. And the last time they comfortably won, and it was a dewy game, was against Hawthorn. He had the 14 tackles, got a little bit of the ball, 104. It could be a decent game for Graham this week. The conditions suit him and the opposition do, so I think he could put up a solid score this week. Roberts benched him this week with the conditions, 49, so it paid off me. I ended up playing Dempsey on field over him this week, so he gained 11 points there. So that was good. I more played Dempsey on field to cover for McRae in case he was sub, which he wasn't, which is good. Jai Clark, very happy that he came in and put up a score over his break-even, so his break-even's back down to 37. So hopefully he can stay in the team. I think Brun got injured as well, so I don't know if that's going to be anything serious, but maybe Jai Clark stays in the side for a few weeks. He played pretty well, kicked a nice goal as well, so that'd be good for him to make some cash. Gawn, first poor score since that opening round game. I thought this was going to be a game that's going to go really big. He's got a good history against Geelong when he was a solo ruck. His lowest hitouts tally for the season. He's had back-to-back games, actually not as many hitouts. Carlton, West Coast next two, I think really good matchups. I think he'll bounce back with a couple of big scores. And yeah, 92, considering he's on 46 halftime, he doubled his score in the last quarter. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty happy that he saved his score in the end. Obviously, Bunter didn't play. Jordan Sweet got the 88, signed up trading out Tristan Sherry, which I'm very upset about. I did go to Sarong, so I did end up gaining, 14 points, which is fine. And if I didn't have Sweet on field, I would have been playing Roberts on field or potentially Closey. So I gained 23 points in the rookie and that. So I ended up gaining about 40 points in the trades. Just the better trades would have been going, instead of going Cherry out, going Williams up to Dacos. And then I would have been benching it anyway. So that would have been the better trades. But hopefully it's better in the long run anyway. But Sweet 88, pretty happy with that. He's got some good matchups to come. This was his hardest matchup before his bye. So 88's pretty solid. Heaney, 99. It's like fine again. I don't think he took very many marks in this game, which is just sort of where his score sort of fell down compared to other scores. 6 tackles, only the 2 marks. Kicked 2 behinds as well. So, again, had the most CBAs, played full-time mid. I'm comfortable with him being the top scoring forward or at least number 2 behind Flanders, which Flanders has now scored, 500s in a row, I think, now, or something like that, I think. 5 in a row. Been very good. Got moved a bit more into the midfield in this game as well, but didn't stop him. He just got the job done. Gave away 3 free kicks as well, so that could have been a bit bigger as well if it wasn't for those. He was very good again. Tom Power got the CBAs a little bit more again, 15. Score wasn't exactly there. North did get beaten up again a fair bit in this game. He does have Gold Coast TIO. I think this could be a game where he could have a lot of tackles because he had 15 against Brisbane. Obviously, he hasn't gone over 5 in any other game, but I feel like he could have a lot of tackles in this game. And if he get a bit of the ball, he might return to a better score. But at least we saw him going back over 70. I think he's just a hold at least until his round 12 bye, and we can reassess then, I think. I don't think Phillips will come back in. And maybe Lazaro does, but I don't think that really affects Tom Powell as much. Jack McRae, very frustrating in a number of areas. Firstly, McRae, I didn't understand why Bevo at the end of the game, I think it was 3 minutes to go, Libba cops a boot to the head. First of all, the umpires didn't stop the game, which I thought was ridiculous with a head knock. But then they go, let's bring on Riley Garcia instead of McRae and leave McRae on the bench, which when they're trying to win the game, I didn't understand. And he's missing at least 3 or 4 tackles. He scored 66. He had only 4 tackles for the game. I saw him lay at least 7. And I know that for a fact. I know what constitutes tackle. There's definitely 2 missing. Absolute worst case, but there's a lot more missing. I honestly don't know what constitutes a tackle for champion data. But I know what a tackle constitutes is if they get effective disposal away and all that jazz. Yes, I get that. But just talking, I just don't get why he didn't get at least 3 tackles added, which meant 78 would be okay. 66 wasn't obviously great when you look at it. Richmond this week, if there is any concern with Libba, maybe McRae gets a slight bump in CBAs. I just hope that they bring... If Libba is out for a couple of weeks, bring Sanders back in, put McRae in the CBAs, leave Ed Richards back in defence, and put McRae as a main CBA mid, and then put Sanders as the other guy in there and keep it, and Bont and Treloar. Like, stop with this mucking around with other guys. Like, I know Bevo's Bevo and he's going to do it. He's not going to put McRae full-time in the midfield, but it is what should happen, even though McRae isn't the player that he was. Dempsey, 60, okay. He had a good first quarter again, 27 points, but after that, only 33 points the other 3 quarters. He's got Port this week. He needs to go on my bench. I don't think I'll be able to trade him with a couple other issues to deal with, but he'll go to my bench this week. Darcy Wilson, 100. He's looking like a very, very good player for St Kilda and for our fantasy teams. Back-to-back really strong scores, getting involved, 21 disposals, back-to-back weeks now. Kicked 3 goals, 2. Could have been bigger. Missed a couple of shots last couple of weeks. He's had at least a scoring shot in every game, which is obviously great. He's going to be a guy, I think he's a guy that we're going to be holding to his Ren 15 buy. I don't see us trading him out. Got some good matches to come. I think he's a safe F6. I think he's not safe. He's still a rookie, but you know what I mean. I don't think he's an issue until his buy. Cadman, Garcia, both getting the 40s. Cadman had a good first quarter, but when the weather came, he fell out of the game a little bit there. Garcia just doing his thing. Actually, how much Tom and Grant did Garcia have this week? 68%, yes, and obviously not huge. But hopefully he just stays in the team for a few more weeks, mate. Gets up to 400k, and then we can cash him in. And then Closey, obviously 65 as well, was solid. He went defence, I think, a little bit as well, and took a couple of kick-ins. So that'll be interesting to see if that holds up moving forward. So all in all, it's not a disastrous week. Considering I only moved down 140 spots with a round rank of 15k, just showed sort of the volatility with scores this week. A lot of people got stuck with some really poor scores, obviously with some injuries and everything, and a lot of bullets. So I can count myself lucky in a sense, because I didn't cop a few of those, which means that I can just deal with the couple of issues I've got and keep going. So obviously that's before if any other issues do arise during the week. Trades at this stage will be Zach Williams and Elliot Yeo will be going. Zach Williams will be going to, it's one of 3 players. It'll be, at this stage, it's Darcy Jones with the -8 break even. I did say on the pod it was McKercher, but I did think about it. I can just play Graham or Closey on field instead. I'll have more cash in the bank to upgrade the following week, and potentially if there's a bullet, I'll be able to upgrade and then upgrade a rookie. And I just think it is a bit better long term. McKercher is at TIO, so I don't know if he's going to go massive this week. I've also looked at James Peatling, -11 break even. He's priced at 444 with a -11 break even. So he's a guy I might consider putting in the forward line. And benching potentially a Harley Reid or something like that and putting him F5. Obviously, the trouble is Giants, who's like Cornelia will probably bat this week, who makes way. Probably not Peatling. I think he's been too good to make way, but whether I can trust it long term, I don't know. And then the other one, obviously, I said it was McKercher. So it's McKercher, Jones, or Peatling. At the moment, it's Jones, though, to just have that more cash. And Elliot Yeo will be going to the guy I said I was bringing in round 9, Nick Dacos. I have to bring him in. Simple as that. He's got West Coast this week. Looked amazing on Friday night. And yeah, can't go any more weeks without Dacos. So he's coming in for me this week, which will be great. So looking forward to having him in the side. So let me know in the comments below how you guys went in round 8. Let me know your +3s, your -3s, and your rage trades. Hopefully you guys didn't cop as many bullets. I know a couple of you did. So condolences, obviously, for everyone that had a tough week. Hopefully round 9 will be better for all of us. Obviously, tomorrow night we'll have the normal Tuesday Q&A. Wednesday, trade talk. And then Friday, pre-lockout chat, and we go again. So Thursday night with the footy, which is Carlton and Melbourne. So, be very interesting to see how Oliver goes, because he's another target I'll be looking at potentially next week. He's another solid target this week as well. So, be beautiful. Make sure you do leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So, hopefully we can hit 2,200 subscribers by the time the Trade Talk video comes out. That'd be amazing. Subscribe and do all that good stuff. All the social media is in the description below, so you keep up to date with all the content coming out on the channel. But until the next next video, hopefully you guys take a bit of a break from fantasy, because I think we all need it after that tough week. But yeah, looking forward to getting stuck back into it next week, because hopefully it'll be a better week for all of us. But until then, catch you guys in the next video. So I'm out. Cheers.